Hello, beautiful people. All right, we are live. Here we go for day 2. Let me get this up on my phone. Hello. For some of you guys watching on YouTube, I do all these live not on Instagram, on Facebook, in a Facebook group. So here we are in the space of everything, and sometimes Facebook doesn't give me comments or show me who's following or commenting on my computer, which is super random and weird. But it happens probably 90% of the time, which is really intense. But we are back for day 2. Who do we got coming through the gate right now? We got a couple of you guys here live. Everyone's coming into the space. So I'm just gonna hold a frequency today as we're gonna move through some shadow dynamics. And I love authenticity, and I love integration, and I love that I get to lead you through an energetic space today that I lead myself through. Like literally everything I teach inside of here and I lead you guys inside of here, and the conversations we're having are authentically raw, real me, right? There's no covering up, there's no pretending to be anything, there's no pretending like I've integrated the shadow, there's no pretending like I have all the answers, like I show up in this authentic energy for you guys to deliver, to maneuver with you, to experience with you, and to be here in this space. And I share from a place of what's been transpiring for me. And it's been really interesting. So I love it, and I want to prompt you guys. I know we've got 5 people on here live right now, and I know there's going to be some more of you guys coming into the space. But if anything has happened and transpired for you since yesterday's call to today, I would love to know if you feel free to share in the space of. Please feel free to share. Dominic, welcome to the call, my friend. Julie, welcome to the call. Please feel free to share anything in the chat. Okay, if you don't want to share anything that's been happening for you in connection with your own revelations or your own thought processes or some of the work that I gifted into you yesterday in the space of, that's totally cool. But I also want to open up the floor right now for anybody that has questions about dynamic things, that anybody that came up against something yesterday and they want to know more about it, or something percolated in your energetic field and you're like, ooh, like it is a juicy discovery for me in the space of. So I want to open up that energetic field as well. And I'm going to go back into the chat after I kind of lean into some energies today and deliver some stuff to get all of those answered. LaDonna, what's going on? Yeah, whoever's here, say hey. If you choose to say hello and jump up into the energetic space, obviously it's an invitation. Nothing in my world is a hard, you have to. But I always love to open up space in an invitation. I invite you to share, I invite you to ask questions, I invite you to step in. I love the fact that we get to co-create here together, and I want to be of service. Like, it's not like, yeah, sure, I've got offers that move through in the space of doing some of these free dynamic things, but I also want you to literally come play the game with me. I want to be all in. How can I serve you in this space? Susan, what's going on? Yeah, I just need more awareness around the shit that needs to be shifted and cycled out. Totally get it. And so I have a membership called the Energetic Upgrade. Some of you have heard of it, some of you are in it, in the space of that, and it is a monthly membership that I get to lead within. I've been doing it now for 2 years, 3 years. I don't even know if I can count time. Kat is here. Welcome, Kat, in the space of that. And last night, as I was driving home from the gym, I have this playlist, and I was talking about this today. I have this playlist that I play. It's called Mellow. Okay, it's a mellow playlist. It's got hundreds of songs on it. And every so often I just randomly add songs into the space, or I hear them from somewhere, or a new song gets into my awareness somehow, or whatever it is, or I'm doing breathwork ceremony and then it comes into integration, and all the spaces of everything and all of that connection of stuff. And I'm driving home and this song comes on. The song title is I Forgive You for Me. I can't remember what the rest of it was. Fuck, I'm really bad at remembering stuff like this. Just take ownership over here. I remember essences of things. I don't remember details of stuff. And over the years, the more I have stepped up into my spiritual pathway, and the more I open my intuitive channel, and the more I am right here in the space of everything, the more I forget the actual data, and the more I'm just in the essence of things. So I'm just taking ownership over here, claiming my space of. And as I listened to this song last night, as I was driving home from the gym, it was like, you need to lead your conversation in the energetic upgrade around this song. And why I tell you guys this today and why I feel it's imperative in this shadow effect and what we're moving through in this conversation is this energy of forgiveness and letting go. And this energy that we're being called into these new spaces, like Dominic said, awareness around shit that needs to be shifted and cycled out. I forgive you to set me free. That's what it's called. I forgive you to set me free. I forgive you to set me free. And it's like, if we really feel into that space, I forgive the self-sabotaging versions of me that brought me down pathways that led me into experiences that I may or may not want to speak about. I forgive myself for believing that I was not enough for the life I truly desired to live. I forgive myself for the actions that I took when I was knee deep in my shadow that resulted in a delay of what I truly desire. And as I felt this song, and I referenced it into the energetic upgrade today and the teaching I brought forth, it became relevant in the space of these cycles that we're going through and these energies that keep showing up in our energetic field for us to deal with, to maneuver through, to stop the end of. And a lot of it's energetics that we don't even know is buried inside the space, but it's also us buying in to this narrative and story in our life that we keep playing out on repeat. It's like I just saw a record player in my mind, and the record player that has that never-ending record on it. Yeah, Ho'oponopono, absolutely. So great. What do we got going on here? Thank you for clarifying what I seem to experience often. Definitely working with forgiveness and letting go. Those lyrics hit hard. Those lyrics. I'm burping up some energy right now, which means I'm clearing some spaces for some of you. And we're going to drop into something that happened to me today. And I love, like I said to you, when I opened this call, and some of you weren't on it yet, and that's totally cool, but I'm like, I love that I get to show up here, fully here in this energy with you, fully here in the space of doing the work, and then a gift. I call it gifts. I call them tools, gifts, adventures, knowings drop into my field literally half an hour before I lead this. And source, God, spirit's like, you need to walk them through this. And I went, okay. And I will today. I'm going to give you a tool to use that when the cycles get depthful, that when we keep seeing this energy play out and play out and play out and play out and play out, play out and play out, and we get under the rabbit fucking hole. Some of you go knee deep in the rabbit holes with stuff. I'm going to take ownership, and some of you are not going to be surprised at all when I tell you this, but I used to be a part of the conspiracy theory community. Back in 2020, I used to follow some of the stuff that was going on, and there was times in my life, and even in 2021, we had these local freedom communities that I was a part of, and I'm really grateful that I actually got kicked out of the freedom community for being too effective. Because that was like spirit, and this is the fucking truth. This is actually hilarious. I'll tell you guys a story in a second. Spirit was like, dude, this isn't where you're meant to be. You need to fucking get back into your lane. But so when all this stuff was happening, there was storylines moving through the field that the government would shut shit down, that some people that weren't obeying some of the narrative would get taken out and all these things. So we started creating these freedom communities where people would meet. We'd have game plans. We'd figure out, okay, if there was an emergency, if they turned off the power, what do we do? Who's in charge of what? What do we have? And as a community, locally, we would come together and find key people that had key expertise, and they'd be in charge of certain groups, and we would be getting shit in order in case we ever had to go off grid, in case something happened, in case we needed medical supplies, in case we needed food, in case we needed all that. Okay, so like I was a part of it, on a board of the local freedom group, let's call it. So a neighboring town about half an hour from me heard about what we were doing, and heard we had these systems in place, and heard that we had this structure, and heard we had these things. And I met one of the guys, and he said to me, Colleen, would you mind coming in to our, it's not like a chapter, because it's not like anyone was combined and it wasn't under an umbrella of anything, but would you come into our place next week and talk to our people about what you're doing here? Yeah, sure, of course, absolutely. Like, how can we spread the word? How can we move this through? Like, that's who I am as a person. And if you know, overachieving Colleen, right, in life was this amazing employee that used to be able to walk into anywhere and create systems that would duplicate the processes and create efficiency and also elevate the business. More revenue, more profit margins. That's my MO. That's what I used to do. That's what I used to do for business. That's who I was. And so I walk into this place and I can feel some of the energies off in here, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, you know, in the space of this, but I didn't let it cloud me. I'm like, I'm coming in for a reason. One of the guys that kind of started this whole thing asked me to come in. You know, I got asked as a guest and got invited in the space of everything and all this stuff. So I end up meeting one of the other guys who has all this process development experience. Him and I kind of team up. We started to create teams. We started to move some stuff through. We started to do the stuff. We had all these people meeting every single week. We had stuff maneuvering in the field. We had teams doing their thing. We had all the fucking food supplies with all the local farmers that could feed 500 families in a year's time with just those food. We had all the shit aligned. And all of a sudden, the people that kind of started this group got their ego flared. Because we came in, this is the story of my life, we came in and within 1 month had executed everything that maybe they were trying to do or hadn't done in the space of things. And within a year's time, we did everything that they wanted to do within a month. And then all of a sudden, everyone's like, this chick isn't for real, and all this stuff. They started doing research. They're like, her LinkedIn profile says she lives in Toronto. And I was like, I don't need anyone to know where I fucking live, right? We don't believe she's a thing. We believe she's a spy working for the government systems. And they literally banned me from their freedom meetings. And like, who can get banned from a freedom meeting for being too fucking organized and free and setting up the infrastructure to actually liberate the people? I can, okay? And I tell you this in this perspective and way that it's like, there's sometimes perceptions of stuff moving through the field of awareness. And sometimes we're up against some dynamic stuff in our world showing up for us. And even when we do our own work and we hold our own sovereignty in the space of, not everyone's going to agree with you, not everyone's going to ride the train with you, not everyone's going to be in the space with you, not everyone's going to be able to hold the palette of your light, but we've got to do the work anyways, and we've got to step in anyways. And I don't know where that community is. I ended up, like, that was 2021, the latter part of 2021. Obviously, a year later or 9 months later, I moved to Costa Rica. And all of that whole mechanism might not have happened if I had been so rooted in my life, right? So rooted in my space of things. But at the time, I would go down sometimes these rabbit holes of all this fucking stuff, and like, I can't even remember half the names, but like, you know, reading script to be like, they're using this word with that word that equals this, and then the end of the world's coming and they're gonna blow shit up in the space of it. And I'm like, okay, this might be true. And it might be true. But right now in my life, what's transpiring and moving through my energetic field is like, I gotta deal with my fucking shit that I don't feel worthy so that I can create my own sovereignty. And that no matter what happens in the field of, because last night, the power went out for almost the whole entire evening here, like around 10:30 p.m. and around 4 o'clock in the morning it came back on, and we were getting the after effects of some of the stuff happening in Jamaica, which I didn't recognize or realize. But I also brought in a reality check to be like, would I be okay for like a week if I had no power? And the answer is yes, I would. But the answer also is we could be better prepared, right? And I don't know why I'm telling you guys this. For some reason, it's landing in the field and it's coming through hot in this moment of time. But I want to bring it back. It's shadow work. You know, in the space of us moving through our stuff to be our own sovereign being so that we can make decisions and choices for our life that are in alignment with our mission on earth, with our objectives, with our juiciness, with our life we choose to live. And the challenge is sometimes we're buying in to these bullshit narratives that are moving through the energetic field, and we're letting them rule our life, which then is us giving our power away. And part of the shadow work portal is, to dive into the work, to see where you're cycling, to see where you're moving through, to accept that that is what is happening, and then to make a decision and decide that that's not how we're living our world anymore. That's not how we're living life any longer. That's not how we're showing up in the landscape of everything. And it's like, we don't bypass the shadow work. We need to move through it to get to the other side, or else we're just going to cycle again, even worse if we don't. And I'm a culprit of that. my surface level overachieving student that just wanted to get shit done in connection with my healing work had to deal with a lot of stuff years later because I surface leveled the things. I got it, did the homework, got the A+, moved it through, let's fucking go, let's get that money, let's move it through. But I couldn't sustain it because shit was blocking me. I couldn't receive the big pallets of money and the people in my world to feel confident. My clients, my 2 brand new clients that had never worked with me before that came into my field this month are multimillionaires. One of them just got paid $50,000 to work with a client in full. Okay, like let's just actually feel that for a second. And she's coming to me to maneuver energy through for her so that she can consistently move within that palette of freedom in her life. If I'm chasing $500 right now in the space of everything, there's something disconnected in the energetic field because I cannot feel worthy to work with someone who flows so easily with money. And that's one of the brightest examples that I have for you, is that I needed to do the work to call in the actual real vibrational alignment to the work. And that's why a week ago, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, I did a last call to people that have done one-to-one work with me to say these prices will never ever be this low ever again. I cannot play in the duality of the separation of trying to honor where some people are in the level and getting them to step into the space that I know that they can be, and they're going to have to make a choice. And that's why the shadow work portal is so imperative for a lot of people right now, because some of you said yes yesterday to it. 2 of you said yes and paid yesterday, and you were like, I'm all in, we need to get this shit figured out, that whatever it was in the conversations we were having. There's a 3rd one that's on the line, and I know that she had messaged me, and I know she's on here live right now too, listening, and I don't know if she's coming through. I don't know if she's going to say yes to herself. I don't know if she's going to do the thing. I'm not sure in the space of that, because she hasn't said yes by paying yet, you know? And it's like, we get these choices in life, and I watched, like, I have so many examples of my own, like, quantum leaping that transpired when I had no fucking clue how I was going to pay for something, but I took that last amount of money I had and bought into myself to buy into something. I'm not telling you you have to do that. I'm not telling you you have to go into debt. I'm not telling you any of those things. I'm just telling you my reference point, that I knew I needed support, and I knew that I needed help in the space of this to get through this dynamic of my life, to get to the other side, because I'd been trying it all these different ways and it didn't fucking work. And until I said yes to myself, wherever it was, whether it was 16 years ago when I used my phone bill money to get my first spiritual mentor to do that clearing that just opened up this whole laneway here, or whether it was in 2021 when I invested in a program where I paid $2,000 a month in payments. I was barely even making it by in the space of, that's USD by the way too, which is pretty much back then was fucking double Canadian. I didn't have that money. I didn't. I used my rent money that month to pay for that to get in, because I knew I needed the information she was teaching. 3 programs I was in, there was 3 months payments of $2,000 a month that I literally to the minute almost had needed that space to get that money in that bank account. And it was like, but it stretched me, and I learned so much, and then I started to build my business and the structure she was teaching that then exponentially grew in 2022. And it was like, but it's like there's this landscape of our shadow, of our scarcity, of our self-sabotage, of our inadequacy, of our unworthiness that keeps shining a light on us in the space of things. So I told you guys a story about my ex yesterday on our call, and some of the dynamics of me choosing to stay underneath my unworthiness. And on Sunday, I saw and got word of that he had actually got engaged in July. And it's really interesting. So what's been happening this week for me, what transpired with that song last night for me, what transpired in the energetic upgrade for me to teach today, what's been moving through my own energetic field to be like, well, I needed to let that go. Because in the quantum liberation program I was leading today, we led through opening up capacity for liberation. I cannot hold the man in my life that I desire to be with if there is any attachments or strings still holding on over here. And it was like Sunday came in as a smack in a beautiful expanded way where I went, wow, interesting. Because remember, he didn't want to get married. He would never marry again. He would never live with another woman. That's what he told me. And I believed him. And I then diminished myself to fit into that box because I knew if I told him I wanted to get married, I wanted to live with someone, I wanted to be all in, I wanted to fucking do the thing, I wanted to master relationships and be fucking fierce and fiery together and passionate together, that he would say no. And then I lived in this FOMO that I would lose this great guy who was 80% of my list, and that was enough for me at the time. I'm like, fuck 80, I want all of it. But I had to do the work to sustain it. So the closing of the door on Sunday was like this beautiful closing of like, wow, here it is. So I can either revert backwards to old identities and I can go back into the space like, what the fuck, I can't believe that, blah, 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 the bastard fucking said that, da, 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 da. Or I can go, shit, here it is. I am worthy to have the 100% of my list because I've done the fucking work. And I can let this totally go in the space of it all and love and light the bastard out of my doorway. So that was a beautiful experience because he taught me so much. Like that pillar in my life, oh my God. I don't know if I would be here. He was the one that encouraged me to start the business. So I don't know. Who knows what would have happened if he wasn't a bridge at that time at the beginning. He was in my life 16 years ago. He helped me start this thing in the business consulting world. But he was also a caveat in my own expansion with energy. And he was a safe place for me to land for a long time, where he was the only one I talked to about all the crazy shit I was seeing, feeling, knowing. At the time, I used to do telepathic communication with parents to help them telepathically communicate with their kids. I just did it on the side for fucking fun. I didn't even know that was actually like a fucking thing. And if we actually look back into our lives, some of us are still cycling in certain spaces and we haven't moved through. And I'm like, here we are. So I for sure have one more space left to work with me one-to-one if some of you guys want to pick that up at the price that it is. And again, it won't be that low. I don't know why it is right now. I'm trusting in the space of, and maybe because I need to help pull some of you guys up into the calibration of where you can actually hold your potency. I don't know. I don't make up anything on top of that. But I for sure have one. I might have two. We'll find out. But if it's yours, send me a message. Let's fucking go. Because it's time. It's time. So let's get into the chat. Does anyone have any questions for me before I drop you guys into this tool that I got gifted before this call, which I'm going to tell you guys about, and how to move some of this energy and literally transmute it and alchemize it into power. We're going to do that today. Yeah, we are. Okay, so let me go into this chat. Keeping knee deep in the rabbit hole, very guilty. Yeah, very familiar with this. Okay, sounds familiar. In dreams confirm that I'm surface level, dream context. Wanted to jump into the ocean, but didn't want to hit the partially submerged shipwrecks because it would be painful. After looking it up, shipwrecks can equal unresolved issues and feelings and closing of an old chapter. Hello, shadow work. Well, Kat, you said yes to yourself yesterday, so we're going to congratulate you on that. So definitely speaking to me in this moment. Thank you. Yeah, guys, this isn't like the airy fairy work, and some of us, it's like, but this is the necessary work. We've got to deal with these dimensions inside ourselves to move it through, or else we're going, and we're going to keep cycling, and what that feels like, because some of you are in it, knee deep in it. And I've been transmuting for the last, for sure, 8 months. Let's even say the last 2 years, 2023. So I got robbed in August of 2023, which created a catapult of energy in my life. Some of you may or may not know that, but I was at home in my first house here in Costa Rica where I lived. And I went to meditate, didn't have dogs at the time. I was actually cat sitting a cat for one of my friends at that moment. And I put my noise canceling headset on and I went into my room to meditate. And about 20 minutes I came out and my bedroom door was closed. And I opened up the door and there's these muddy footprints, like literally no shoes on, muddy footprints in my kitchen. The fridge door was open. Half of my bathroom was gone. Like all of my hair supplies, I had like probably $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 worth of oils in this like takeout thing that I brought, gone. They didn't take my computer. They didn't take my car keys, and they actually put an air tag on my car so they could track me, which I found the next day, which obviously I moved out of that place the next day, but that night it was like fucked up. But that was a pivotal August 2023, a pivotal moment in time for me for deeper work. The next place I moved into, I did it on a rush, and my intuition said no, and I should have listened to my intuition, but I didn't, and I acted anyways in FOMO, in fear, in all of this, I should have my own place, and all of this egotistical driven energy in the space of this. And in December of that year of 2023, they ended up extorting me, stealing a whole bunch of my shit. They kept my passport and computer hostage until I paid them more money, and then they wouldn't let me have my stuff. And it's like, in the space of everything, so funny. Okay, we have one spot left for the one-to-one work. I just got the message on my phone. She's like, she's in. She said, so we got one spot left for this portal. But all of that transpired, and it was like, then I got the dogs in January. I was staying at my girlfriend's house, in her house. Finally got my own place in February. We're in prime time season in the middle of Costa Rica. You want to try and find a place to live in December, January, it's fucking hard unless you want to pay $4,000 or $5,000 a month, and they aren't renting long term. And it was like this crazy dynamic. I know. Thank you, Julie. Exactly proving my point to this conversation I'm having. Julie wrote, "Why do you have to learn these lessons so hard?" Because I didn't listen. And because I wasn't doing the work I was being called into. Months before I got robbed, probably about May, I knew it was time to leave. And my intuition was saying, it's time to go. And then I ignored the hit, and I ignored the hit, and I ignored the hit. I was like, yeah, I'll look for a place. I was paying $2,500 a month at this place, completely getting ripped off by these people. Completely. The energy was off. The people were off. I actually stayed at their house for 2 weeks in July of that year to watch their animals while they went back to Canada, and they still charged me full rent at the place I wasn't even staying at. I was staying in their house watching their animals, and they didn't pay me to do that. I was in this place of how can I just give more into the world because I'm love and light. I can do it. I can handle this, and I wasn't listening. And this is the thing that I really want you to feel. I had boundaries to learn. I had that I didn't have to give away my fucking kitchen sink to every single person that didn't earn it to learn. I had the beginning parts of the depthful worthiness to work through, that I was worthy to have friends in my life that actually reciprocated my energy, that I didn't have to continue to give to all these people in order to be liked. That was a whole other mechanism that was moving through the field. So much. But because I didn't want to listen, spirit fucking smacks me hard across the face. And that's the truth of it all. Now you see what happens to me. Something drops in, I take action. Something drops in, I take action. Something drops in, I take action. I sit with it, I'm like, what is the truth here? What do I need to know? We were having some complications in this house, and I sat in the space of this, and I went, am I supposed to still be here? And Spirit's like, yes. Okay, let's keep moving. And we did. And here we are on the other side of it. It took one shift of an energy to change the whole frequency. But Colleen 2 years ago would have not sat in that. I would have avoided it. I would have made it up to be something different. I would have hid or pretended or whatever the fuck I would have done in connection with that event. I want you to really feel this. When we avoid the work, we are creating more shitstorms for ourselves. When we avoid the work, we are making it harder on ourselves. When we pretend like it's not happening, exact same answer. And so, like, really let this land in your energetic field right now to be like, fuck, apparently, part of me used to love going through tough shit in order to come out the other side. Some of you heard the story before where I told you, like, I would go the hardest route possible in my life just so I could get the t-shirt to tell you how fucking hard it was, so that you'd be like, oh my God, I can't believe that would happen to you. Some of this shit still, even to this day, that has happened in my world. Now I just fucking laugh at it, because I'm just like, yeah, I'm not putting any energy here, because I'm just not. I'm going to keep moving through this space and keep endeavoring in the things I say I'm going to do, and I'm going to keep experiencing this, and I'm going to keep dropping into what I desire, and I'm going to keep leading in the light and keep leading in power and potency and truth, and that's where I'm going to be. And I'm not going to buy into anything else that's coming up to distract me, to maneuver me, to create chaos in the space of. It's like I'm going to keep holding the laneway. Right? Staying too long in situations that no longer serve us. Yes. Inertia is such a bitch. Fear and scarcity and knowing we can keep surviving. Absolutely feeling this. Everything going around. Recovery and my ex-partner and moving in with my grandparents. Absolutely guilty. Dude, no prizes. No. Here's what I actually truly desire in life now. Peace. And I want to grow exponentially and make a fucking massive impact in peace, with a little bit of crazy, a little bit of adventure, maybe jumping off a few cliffs, jumping out of a plane again. I want to do it in Costa Rica. I have skydove. I want to do it here, because imagine fucking jumping out like over the fucking jungle out of a plane, like way fucking cooler than over a landfill in Innisfil, Ontario. You know, like, welcome to the wheat farm. You know, like, that's where I did my first ever skydiving jump. Like, yeah. The guy I'm casually seeing wants to buy a new motorcycle, and he's like, he's been driving them for a long time, and I'm like, I want to get on, like, I've been on the back of his other bike, and I'm like, I want to go on your new bike. Let's fucking go. Go buy it. He's looking at this Honda, and he was showing it to me last night in the space of what he wants, and I'm like, babe, so he isn't a normal dreamer. He grew up in a really, you know, like, chilled as fuck country. They don't really dream. They get up, they go to work, they love on their people, they have community and family, and they do it all again. They do that 6 days a week. That's what they do. And when he came into my world and he started showing me some of the things that he wants, I started fueling that fire in him to be like, you can have anything you want, mi amor. It's up to you to decide that this is what you want. Like, let's go. Get the fucking bike. Let's go for a ride. Like, let's go live life. Let's go feel the fucking breeze on our faces through our helmets. Right? Let's go. Why not? Because someone once said it was too dangerous. If my mom fucking knew I was riding on the back of like a dirt bike bicycle in the middle of rain season in Costa Rica, she'd fucking flip out. I don't even know if my mom's in here. Hey mom, I'm riding on the back of a bicycle. You are here in the middle of Costa Rica. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm casually dating a guy. You know? Haven't told her that either. But this is the life. But we're letting our own fear block us from experiences in all these different capacities. What are they going to think? How is this going to happen? Da-da-da-da. I'm worried about all these fucking things that are never going to happen anyways. But we just worry about stupid shit consistently all the time because of what? Yeah. So, no questions. You guys are good. If you have any, just throw them in the fucking chat, and then I will get to them in a second. But let's drop into something. So half an hour before this call, I was literally laying on my couch of creation right over here. It's always covered because I don't want to have to deal with stains on the couch, because Lily likes to go run through the mud sometimes. And after this call, Lily and I are going over to the playa, into the beach, to go for a walk, because it's actually probably the most beautiful time right now. It was raining all morning. And I took a moment, I ate, I taught in the energetic upgrade, I had space, I made some food, I ate, and then I laid down on the couch and I dropped into the calibration of shadow work, of clearing, of alchemy, of transmuting this energy, of how can we take this space and move it out. And this visualization dropped in. And I'm gonna walk you through this visualization for you. It's gonna be a tool that you can use to move shadow energy, that you can use to transmute shadow energy, that you can use when you just feel like you need to use it. So whatever that context is for you, you guys get to use this as an asset. And I really desire to gift this into the space for you guys today, because I want you to be able to, for those of you that are not inclined to do this work yet, or you're in a space where you can't make it move, or there's a dynamic happening in your life and you just need to kind of chill the fuck out in the background, you've got this asset that you can use every single day if you're coming up against something, right? Let's just say you just met with your mother who fucking vomited all over you, and you're knee deep in her fucking shit right now, and you need something to literally alchemize that energy and get it out. Or you just saw your ex who just fucking proposed to the girl that he said he'd never fucking propose to, and all of a sudden your ego fucking flares, right? Or your self-sabotaging version of you starts to show up and they're starting to creep back into the space, and you're like, no. No, we need to nick this fucker in the butt. So this asset is going to be an asset that you guys are going to want to use if you choose to. I invite you into it, obviously, to move some energy and to transmute stuff. We're going to use the elements. So elemental energy. If some of you are new to elemental energy, we're going to use the 4 basic ones that most people know: air, earth, water, and fire. And all of them have their own frequencies. Last year, I taught one of the most powerful programs ever called the Elementals. And it was the program that had the least amount of people in it. I probably could have marketed it different. Let's just take ownership here. I definitely could have marketed it different. I didn't market it in the way of the power of what the program was, but I leaned into 6 elements in that program. And one day, if I ever get my shit together and get a landing page with programs people can buy, you may be able to purchase it. But I feel like it was one of the most empowering and powerful programs I've ever taught, because these elements are readily accessible for us in tactile form as well as in energy. And there's energies that work with these elements all the time. And there was 6 sessions, 6 different elements. It was a fucking great program. A great program. So, we're going to use some of the elemental energy today. I'm going to drop you into a space. If some of you are brand new to my world, I do this often. Transmissions, activations, clearings. It's kind of like we're going to meditate together, but I'm going to lead you through something specific to use as an asset or tool that you can remember to use in your life. I won't be talking light language today, so I don't need a disclaimer on that, but at least I don't think I will be, and if I do, I'll just give you a disclaimer later. Just roll with it, okay? But yeah, we're gonna shift some stuff, and I'm gonna teach you about how you can really use this as a calibration. It's not going to get to the root of the problem. Its objective is to clear the energy right now, so that you can keep moving through your day. You've got to do the deeper work to get to the baseline of it. Or your friend starts dating your ex of 4 years that she told you, yes, see, this kind of shit, Julie. So let's fucking clear that bullshit for you. Absolutely. Yeah, maybe I will bring it back. I don't know. It's hard to say. We'll see how this all lands in the energetic field of everything. I love that program though. It's like, yeah, it's one of my favorites. That and my bold program, because that fucking graphic that I made was on point. Okay, let's drop in. So if you're driving, working, you can't drop in now, don't, obviously. But for those of you that can, let's take a second and a moment to drop into your body. So when I say drop in, I mean close your eyes, land in your body. So most of us don't take time to be present in our bodies. So when I say land, we're going to take some breaths into the body, and you're going to follow the breath into the body. You drop it down. You're going to do that a few times. As you can see, my body's moving energy. This happens every single time I close my eyes and I do drop-ins. I'm already clearing the space for us. It's my natural MO. But for you, I want you to start to feel yourself in this moment. Feeling the seat that you're in, right? Feeling your glutes on the seat, feeling your back supported wherever you're sitting, wherever you're lying down, whatever that looks like for you. Just coming right here in this moment of time. As you release yourself to this moment, we take a second to calibrate in, feeling your heartbeat, feeling your body, feeling your breath. This is what we call becoming present in your life. Whatever thoughts are moving through your brain, we just kind of move them out. Just whoosh, whoosh, in the space of that. Now, just like Julie mentioned in the chat about this endeavor about her girlfriend, let's bring up something today that might have tried or has been throwing you off your game today. Maybe it was a bill that unexpectedly came in and you all of a sudden dropped into scarcity. Maybe it was a feeling you had of being inadequate because you saw someone do something in the space of things. Maybe you decided to diminish yourself when you put content out today because X, Y, and Z. Maybe you just don't believe. I don't know, bring up something. Anything. Just bring it up in the space of, and bring it into your body. So the first thing that's going to happen is when we activate this and we give it a charge of energy, we're going to go into restriction. You're going to feel it. And first thing that I felt was my heart restrict down. So my heart kind of condensed in. I felt resistance in my heart, and I was like, oh, like I just like, as you guys are, eyes are closed, but I'm just like touching my heart. Like I can just like, woof. Like you could feel that there. Some of you got dizzy in the space of, I could feel my third eye getting dizzy. My eyes feel like they're glazed over. I'm feeling heaviness in my womb. I'm feeling tingling going down my legs. So it's showing up in all different ways in your physical body. When you drop your vibration into a space that isn't aligned with you, it creates restrictions in the body. It's one of the key ways that we know that we're offline. But we're calling it in right now. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to bring in the element of earth. So I want you to literally feel your feet on the ground. So if you're seated or you're laying down, it's okay. I want you to imagine the earth under your feet. Some of you know this. You walk in the grass, you play in the sand, your feet hit the mountaintop consistently over time. Bring that energy in right now. It's right there. You're grounded. You're safe, right? You're protected. The earth is bringing you back into your essence right here. We're using the earth energy as a safety portal. I got you, Mother Earth says. I got you. I got you. You are not alone. I could feel that in my heart for some of you because you've been feeling alone for a long time. Just breathe. Whew. You are not alone. You are not what this shadow that dropped into your field today says. You are not inadequate. You are not unlovable. You are worthy as motherfucking fuck. I'm going to show you right now. As we're being held by Mother Earth, and that feelings in our body of restriction, I want you to start to see this beautiful flame of fire. Now, some of you are going to feel the fire because the heat's coming in closer to you. Some of you are going to see the fire. Some of you are going to know the fire is here. And we're going to start to percolate that fire and call it in. And you can see the impact of the fire. The fire is the transmutation. It's going to blow some shit up. It's going to disintegrate some stuff. It's going to literally burn up some energy. Whoosh, we want it to. So we're calling in the fire, and I want you to start to imagine it coming into your field, and it's going to start to percolate in that energy. So if you have tension in the heart, you're going to start to feel the heart releasing that energy into the fire. And you might see it come out with like waves of energy. You might feel the energy moving through your heart. It's like a beacon calling it out. We want the shadow to burn in the fire. And I want you to imagine that letting go energy dropping into your energetic field. We're going to let it go, and we're going to let it go, and we're going to let it go, and we're going to let it go. Just pulling it right out of you. And I just feel it coming through, and it's like you can let it go. That inadequacy is getting burnt up. That feeling of unworthiness, of not being able to hold that relationship, to be with that person, to see what they're up to, is being released into the space of that lack and scarcity you felt when you said yes to yourself today, and then all of a sudden this dynamic showed up and that kicked you in the knees and you got fucking torn apart again in the space of, we're letting it go into the fire. It's coming through you into the fire as we call it up. And it's just like it's landing and it's landing and it's landing and it's landing. Where else? Woo, the energy coming through the womb. I'm like, Yeah, baby, let's pull out that shadow, that receivership, that blocking of energy that you've been blocked for years and years of receivership, the inadequacy, the unlovable energy, the closing off of a space because of betrayal and abandonment. Pull it out. Pull it out. Pull it out. Whew. And all of a sudden, this gush of water comes down through the top crown, over your head. Imagine yourself in a waterfall. And it drops in to clear it all out. Clear it all out from the depths of the DNA and the depths of your soul, from the depths of the cellular level. It just shoot. You breathe. And coming out the last edge of your fingertips, you can just feel the last prickling of energy coming out through my hands of that shadow being released from today. And you start to feel, hear the whisper of the wind on your cheek, in your eardrum. And it's like, shh. And the whisper is the remembrance of your liberation. Oof. And it's coming in with this frequency edge of the opposing factor to what the shadow brought. So let's just say it was lack that you felt today as you move through the space of the energy of abundance is coming in through the wind. And you start to see yourself in that abundance. You start to see yourself in that energy. You start to feel it in your body. And now all of a sudden you open. That contraction that used to be in the heart is no longer there. It's expanding, open, right here, right now. And it's like, whoo, the opposing energy, the wind is dropping it in. It's liberating you. The wings, like I could just, some of you are like, what, wings? Yeah, there's energetic wings on our back. They're built for liberation, for flying and freedom of sovereignty self. And it's like, shoo, yeah. And it moves in, and it moves in, and it moves in, and it's landing right in the center core of you. As you build it in your mind, what if 3 times the money you just spent can land right now in this moment? What would it feel like in your body? The love that you seek from the partner that wasn't yours, what if you 10 times that in the actual true partnership, in the connection of life that you're meant to serve and move along with? What if that was the truth instead? That the power you wish to share with the world is ignited through you in this beautiful flame that when you hit post on the post, you know you're impacting lives, whether they click like or not. The boundary you've been meaning to set becomes so easy for you to say out loud that it's in stone now and written in the ethers, that you will never compromise your values again for anyone. That you are worthy of all of it. And build it up in the body as you feel the wind wisping around you, as you build the harmony, as the fire flame comes back in to accelerate this light, as it alchemizes all of that shadow. Now, let's play. As the water moves around you with flow, with ease, as it just soaks into your space of how do we move this forward fast and quickly with ease and grace? As Mother Earth reminds you under your feet that you are supported. And you just feel the shifting of the energy, the power ignited in you in this landscape. Da nyasikahi. Welcome home, my friend. Welcome home. And breathe that in. Whew. Breathe it in again. Whew. And breathe it in again. Yes. Yep. Yeah. And as you come back now into this physical body, this physical form, in this cleared energy, in your power of sovereignty, you come back into this space with me. Right here. Back into the space with me. Taking a moment of time. Taking whatever space you need to come back. I'm going to keep talking while you guys come back into your bodies. We've got deep work to do in the collective. We know that. But it doesn't mean that you have to be in deep work every day and knee deep in your fucking shit all the time. You can take the 10 minutes that we took today to sit with yourself like this and transmute. And then from this, you go take action in the space of whatever that means for you. It's different for every single one of you. All of you are on different journeys. All of you are doing different things. All of you are in a space of difference. But this is where possibility is. That you get to choose, consciously choose every day how you move forward. That's up to you. But what if a tool like this, in 10 minutes of your time, and you did this proactively often when you felt the shit, because some of us are knee deep in it, right? That you could move this through easily. What if that was actually truth for you? And it can be, if you believe it. The challenge we have as people is that we believe some of these old stories. So here's what I know. 10 years ago when we did healing work, we had to take our time. We had to go into the depths. We had to say the affirmations every single day in the mirror. We had to do this and that, and healing took a long time. That's what we were made to believe, and that was the truth potentially moving through the collective. Was it the actual truth? No, but it was the truth that we believed, that somebody fed us somewhere along the laneway that was technically a lie, because if we decided today that we would do the deep-rooted work and we can move it through, we can. What story are you feeding in your life is another question I have for you. And now, you decide that that energy is cleared, guess what happens? It's cleared. But you got to sustain the other side of this. That your beliefs and your emotions and your mental game literally play the same story as the energy. I say to people all the time, I can go in and clear your fucking energy, but if you're not willing to do the work around it, it's not going to work. And that's why this portal, for those that said yes, so the 3 people yesterday, technically 1 today, 2 yesterday, the one before that that said yes to this, are ready for the changes because they know that they need to. And they were willing to do whatever it took to make sure that they were one of the 5. Because they said to themselves, I need my story to shift, and I've been trying to shift my fucking story for so long, and I'm done. Or they got to the next level and they don't know how to move through it. And here we are. It's an offering. It's a part of the buffet. You can eat. You can choose not to eat. You can choose to sit at the table and observe. You can be whatever you want. But the story in your life is the story in your life. Is it serving you? Or is it keeping you cycling? When I decided and truly decided that I was done, like $10,000 months are amazing, okay? Like I don't want to diminish that, because some of you that's liberation, and I honor that space. But for a long time I cycled there, and a long time I knew I was meant to do other things and to do more, because I was meant to give into big pieces in the world, like buying Honda motorcycles for a guy I'm casually dating because I can. I want to fucking do that shit. I want to leave $1,000 tips for rando people when I go into places that they probably never gotten a $1,000 tip before. I want to be that girl. I can't do that making $10,000 a month. So I knew. And the moment I decided, like I'm talking about truly decided, and I'm talking about all in no matter what. I invested in a mentor that did one clearing on me that changed the game. Because I knew that I would support the action because I'd done all the work to get there and I needed some help. And it did. I paid her $1,000 for a week of her, one call and a week of support. That completely changed my life. And at that time, I didn't have $1,000 to invest in this. But guess what? I figured it out. Because I knew that I had been cycling so long. So I want to bring this up into your field right now. What stories are playing out, and are you feeding them, or are you shifting them? I know, right? I am on fucking fire, Julie. It's been fucking great. Thank you, by the way. Okay. Holy smacks, that was freaking powerful. Yeah, LaDonna. I love LaDonna so much. Holy smacks. You know? And there's me. I'm like, holy fucking shit. You know, like LaDonna, holy smacks. That was interesting. Mostly released on the feminine side. Not surprised at all about that. And by the end, the masculine side, arm and solar plexus were pulsing. There's some balance coming back into play for you, Kat, which is going to be really great to witness. Had a burning sensation that went from my heart and down my ribs and lungs. That was intense. Yeah, these downloads are insane these days. Dude, I'm on fire in the space of connection and alignment. And I've decided and made a decision in my own energetic field that I'm going to stop diluting the work. And not that I dilute the work when I'm here with you guys delivering. I'm talking about out in the outward experiences of what can actually happen in these portals, and what can actually happen if you can get into my energetic field and I can help you. And if you're willing to be here with me, I will serve the fuck out of you and move whatever we need to get it done. So a lot of you guys, there's at least 10 of you guys in the VIP upgrade, which is happening on Thursday. I just want to remind you, you can still jump in. It's $33 now. It only went up $11. So you can still jump into that if you guys are feeling called. We're going to be doing a lot of amazing shit on All Hallows Eve with shadow fucking work. It's going to be that whole day for me. It's the last veil of the 12 veils program too, which is the shadow self fucking veil. That whole day on Thursday is going to be fucking amazing. I'm excited for it. So if you want to play, it's on your replay email. It's in the group here. It's everywhere. You can find it. Tomorrow's going to be another powerful day. One thing, man, excuse me. My body over the last couple days has been releasing so much in all these different ways. I'm super excited about like hiccuping. I'm like, no, thank you. I do not need any more tools to clear energy, please. Okay? We don't need it that visceral. Tomorrow's another day. Replays will go out. You guys get access to this. I actually decided to make this public on YouTube. So it's on YouTube. It will be there forever in the space of everything. So I just want to encourage you guys to lean in. What actions are coming up now that your energy field is clear from the shit that landed on you earlier today? And what do you need to do to move forward? And let's play in that energy today as we maneuver. And whoever's making it live tomorrow, I'll see you tomorrow live. And we'll go from there. I love you guys.